what? Oh, hi. Zeospantera. Reviews, Inner Fetish. These are the Fluid Image 2s, and you watch me unbox these on this channel. I don't do unboxings on this channel. I have a whole separate video channel for unboxing videos that I do. And I've never put one on the main channel. I don't think I have. I might have in the past. I don't fucking know. But I was excited for these because they are nearly 4 gemstones, 3.8 gemstones. And they have, well, they're the Fluid Image 2s. And you can see it's a studio monitor. It's a little bit different than normal. We've got a coned AMT, a 5-inch, and then, of course, 2 side-firing 8s each. And their price point, and I know Fluid, I know the company, I've used their other monitors. I fell in love with their FX80s, which was the 8-inch coaxial. I don't know why I did that. That's apparently the universal sign for coaxial now, is that. And I was talking to the guy, and he's super cool, and he's like, yeah, we got this new thing coming up. So they arrived, and I set them up, and I had just taken the LS60s out of here. Now, if you think about the LS60s, those are a $7,000 speaker, and it varies from like the normal conventional, like here's a $7,000 speaker, and it's front firing and then rear firing. The LS60 was a coaxial front firing, and that's it, just a little baby one, and then side firing 6.5s, 4 of them, 2 on each side, times 2, so you had fucking 8 of them. It was a lot. So what if you took that tower and essentially just compressed it into a box? Just went. Now, these aren't just a studio monitor. They do other things that are special. And the reason this video is going to be cut in 2 parts, and I'm going to probably sound different and have a lot more fucking wrinkles, is because I'm about to go to UK Can Jam. And I was trying desperately to get this video recorded before that. Oh, by the way, I'm going to try to do keyboard reviews. This one is nice. This is the EpoMaker TH66 Pro, and it was chosen specifically because of one of the quirks of this speaker. It has digital in, but not like, you know, the Air Pulse there, which is like a speaker with a remote control. These are still a studio monitor with digital in, and therefore you have to control the source, and it'll take spit it for AES, and I don't know any other way to control the source of a digital thing except for literally a knob turning the Windows volume down. If you know of a device, a box, that'll take in fiber optic and put out fiber optic, or take in coaxial and put out coaxial, or take in AES and gives you a remote control or a knob that just lowers the digital volume in line, you let me know, because I don't think of one. So at their price and what their intended purpose is as a studio monitor, I'm going to have to make this a 3-part review, really, where I'm testing it here, now, pre-room correction. Because you can see, look, I got my tripod out, and I got my trusty mini DSP UMIK1, and guess what? I spent 4 fucking hours dicking around in, apparently, Sonarworks joins forces with Fluid. And you know what? That's great, because that means you get these monitors, and you get to do room correction with them, and then upload a profile into the back to the USB port. Oh, I can't wait. What it doesn't say in big, bold letters, someone had to find it for me, was that Sonarworks room correction doesn't work with USB microphones. Because I got it to start the process of like, put it near here, make a whoop, 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 and then put it in the spot and go whoop, whoop, whoop. And then it's like, now we're going to make it go whoop, whoop, and you just hold the microphone in 37. Not joking. That isn't like a made up number, like, haha, 37 places. Literally 37 points of room correction. The problem being, when you hold a USB microphone with a different clock than the output, it was fucking bound. It couldn't do it. I got 1. I think they didn't even get to the 2nd point before I just gave up. And then I ordered a Dayton microphone. I was going to order a Neumann measurement microphone, but I don't think it's required. I should have. It feels more expensive. Audio stuff feels better. Anyway, let's talk about the speakers for a minute, because they've been down here running for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. I'm going to say 4 weeks. That's a month. They're one of my favorite speakers. Fucking hands down. And you know what? I take these over LS60s. The LS60s were fresh in my brain. Like I was sitting here, I was showing them off to people, I had them up on the things. It was good. And it's like, God, this is just a quality audiophile sound. But then these, it's hard to put to words what I'm experiencing. Forgetting out the bass, because having 4 8-inch drivers, each with 225 watts, so 225, 225, 225, 225, so automatically almost 1,000 watts in just low-end capability. And then I think there's 150 for the mid-range and 75 for the tweeter, which the tweeter does not need 75 watts because it's in a fucking horn. These are some of the most powerful speakers I've ever listened to. Like I've pushed them, since I'm controlling digital, I've pushed them to the point where they start breaking up. The cone they just start going, ah. And I'm like, oh God. I think right now we are at the Windows volume of 66 out of 100. And my foobar is nailed. We're going to talk about placement. Because as you can see, they're on that's a set of monoprice stands. But they're not just on the floor. They're on a cinder block, on sliders. Because I needed to get them exactly to this height, where my eyeballs are at the bottom lip of the 5-inch, so it's just right between the two. You'll also note that the tweeter is on the bottom. Now this is something you see in the promotional of this, in fact, right here. You could see it, boom. In the Sonarworks page, if I flip back to the Fluid page, come on, where are you? Up. I was doing a lot of reading. You can see them right side up here or upside down there. So they advertise them as tweeter bottom, and I have this weird, I'm a fuck. I love tweeter bottom. What is Zeos? Zeos is a bottom. He's a tweeter bottom. And I could tell you right now, it isn't just a matter of flip the speaker over, because then the label's upside down. This label here, it says Fluid, which is made out of metal. I had to unscrew 6, but this is the official procedure, unscrew 6 hex keys to pull his whole fascia off, which the speaker is attached to, by the way. So that was awkward because these are $1,900 a piece. And then unscrew a little nut that was holding on a thing that I got it out, and then you're able to rotate it and tighten it again. And the only problem is on this one, I went to tighten it, and I was using a little hand tightener, and it went whoop and just yanked the aluminum stud off, and the thing fell on the floor. So one of these, and I don't know which one, is held on with blue tack. I just ripped the screw off, I put tiny little bit of blue tack and stuck the label on, and that's how it should have been from the factory. Fluid should have just included those little plates in the bag and just went like, yeah, when you're ready to pick your orientation, just peel off this adhesive and put it on there. Little complaint, little tiny complaint. These speakers are also a pre-production set. They have issues that the finished speakers shouldn't have. We got to talk about MixCube mode. This might be a very long video, and I really want you to understand. Hold on, let me... The sound demo for these is going to be fucking trash because it's not going to pick up on what it's doing. I've had several people here to listen to these. People who build speakers for a living. And I've sat them down, and they look straight ahead, and they go, is that speaker on? Because that's this clip center channel. And the imaging, the actual center image in this speaker is the strongest I've ever heard of any speaker. And that comes from a lot of playing. I love how this keyboard looks and feels, by the way. Please check out the Epomaker TH66 Pro. I learned a lot of things with my Broadman speakers that have the side firing. I know from that, and therefore relating to the LS60s, that you can't angle the speakers at all. That does not work. It might work when I'm on near field. I move to the near field desk over there. It might be a lot of work, but anytime you're in a space, because as soon as you take those side firings, you twist them and they start doing weird, gone. This speaker and this speaker need to fight right here. And those other speakers, and I even wonder, what would it be like if this was in a room and there was a wall here? What would it do? How could it expand the soundstage further than it already has? This is like 1,550 watts of pure speaker for not, not your normal audiophile bullshit purposes. I mean, I literally counted. If you sit down and you're looking at the side of the speaker, which I've already got like a mark on, I gotta rub it like my mother would lick her finger and rub it off. You see 6, 8, 4. That's 18 fasteners. Audiophiles don't want to see 18 fasteners per speaker. That means you're sitting in the middle, and I see 36 screw heads. Because these here, the top and bottom, are designed to suspend it from the ceiling. Because it's a studio monitor that might end up in a studio doing studio work. And you know what? It'd be one of the best. I've heard the Neumanns, all right? I had not Neumanns, I heard the Genelecs. Back in my old apartment, I had those crazy Genelecs with the fucking waveguide, the things. And probably more detail than these, straight up. But those were also only near field, only for detail. There was no fun to be had. It was remarkable. It was kind of like the Bravura, like the DMS mentioned the Bravura in the HE1 review. It was like, oh, I love the Bravura. And the Bravura was very technically capable, and it was like, oh, that's astonishingly clear. But I'm bored now. The Genelecs bored me. These haven't bored me in a month. I come down and I'm just like, oh, I have the entire surround sound. I've got the $3,000 Klipsch. I got the HSU sub. I got my fucking Swans in the rear. I got a $1,000 receiver, and I keep putting it into stereo. I just keep putting it on the fluids because I know that I'm going to be more impressed by what happens with these two than anything that happened in the surround sound thing. That's never happened to me before. I got to get a pill for it or something. You'll see that I have pieces of tape on the cone, and that was to try to visualize while sitting, like how much excursion they have. Where did my magic keyboard go? Let's bring up Fubar again. This is like a love story. I'm sort of. I'm just sitting like completely in the middle between the two, and it's like I'm on stage listening to. Who the fuck is this? Shivery? Goodnight Moon? I love that book. It's my favorite book. It's a long read. It's a hard read, but you know, I get through it once every few years. Yeah, no, I actually haven't sat this close before. I'm just doing it for the review. I usually sit on the couch. But I'm literally, this is where I'm hearing sound. The entire curve of the earth is playing this song right now. I want to gush about sound. Usually I get boring and I'm like talking about, oh, the build and oh, the origin story of it. Fuck that. These sound tremendous. And they've got 3 things in the back. You got the bass knob, which it'll adjust bass up to or down to. You've got a treble boost or reduce switch, and you got a mid-range boost and reduce switch. And since I was trying to do measurement microphone stuff and correct it, those are all set to flat right now. That's not even the way I like it. I like the mid-range boosted, and then if I'm just feeling like a lunatic, I just turn the bass up 1 or 2, and then you shit your pants. And I don't even have it in pants shit mode right now. I just have it in like monitor mode, uncorrected. Again, I'm gonna film a second half of this review once I get that actual, because here's the thing, these have won my heart and become the best speaker pretty much I've heard as far as capability and power and detail and nuance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Glitch Mob.
All right, you don't understand where that electricity sounds like it's coming from, because it sounds like there's actual electricity in the room. And that's uncorrected. When this is corrected, it may get worse. I don't know. We're going to find the fuck out. And the thing is, you spend $3,800 on a pair of these. And Sonarworks, you could use a 21-day trial, but if you register the serial number, which you bet your ass I did, you get a 60-day trial of Sonarworks. So that means you get to set up all your corrections for basically free, because the other one's $250 otherwise. That's the deal of the fucking century. I don't know how much I want to go into in this first half. I guess I should just cover as much of it as I can, because now that we've just, all you have to know about the sound is I've never heard anything quite like it. And the fact that it's all squeezed into a cube, because it's basically a tower speaker. All those speakers back there, which I'm going to move. By the time the second half of this review rolls around, those 3 towers will be out of here. Not that I don't love looking at them. I'm going to try to make the wall look nice. But I want to move these. I just want... These speakers have inspired me to fix this space to make it better. I want to test more. I want to move things more because they exist. And I've literally lost my train of thought because hold on, let me get my train of thought back.
This is that future shit.
They're so delicate too. They get so delicate. What is this? This is Bavarian Radio Symphony Orchestra. Götterdämmerung, Siegfried's Funeral. Oh, it's from the movie Bronson. Just go watch the movie Bronson and get the soundtrack. They're the most alive speaker. It's from a studio monitor company. Fluid makes studio monitors. This isn't like a fucking prestigious audiophile brand or, you know, someone with a heritage. Fluid just started, I can't tell you how long ago, and they make decent studio monitors. And this one is like so many leagues. This is like Modhouse and the Tungsten. Modhouse made little mods for fucking, you know, T60 RPs. Look, I opened it up and I did a mod. And then he built a Tungsten. And the Tungsten is like $2,000, which is way expensive. But you get one and it's like, holy fuck, it's so light and comfortable and well built. And then you put it on and the sound comes out of it. And then the sound comes out of it. And you, what are you blinking for? What does that mean? I may need to charge this. It's been a bit. I don't understand. I literally don't. Because it doesn't, like, there's an 8-inch firing that way. Fine. There's an 8-inch firing that way. Fine. These 8-inch are fighting in the middle. But then the front is just a 5. And then there's the, I mean, I guess the LS60 should have taught me that the little driver size in front doesn't really matter. But holy fuck. I'm just all sound of this episode. This episode is like, because it comes to the point every now and then where I find a speaker, a headphone, and I'm like, I don't want to review this. Nah, I don't want to review it right now because if I review it, then I got to move it out of the way, and I got the Klipsch 7s and the Klipsch 9s, and I got to review those, and then I'm not going to have these. And it's like, I'm addicted to these fucking speakers. I'm addicted to these speakers. I never want to let them go. I never want to give you up. And we could lower it down. We could lower it to like a whisper. Here, wait. Like even more. 2 out of 100. And I hear Deadmau5's ghosts and stuff fully, but like a whisper of it. But there's still a bass tone going. Like how usually on a speaker or a headphone, there's like a perfect, like you get a headphone and you play it at a whisper and it's like, well, it's not going to be the best speaker headphone you've ever heard. You get a Ferrari, you do 9 miles an hour. It's like, well, I could do this 9 miles an hour on my Honda Civic and it'll be just as good. These speakers work at every volume, from whisper, they're the best speakers that whisper, to literally, hold on, we'll change songs so I don't get a thing. What's a good one? Eminem, Come On Everybody, that's perfect. This was actually playing at Expona. In the main, like, lobby, it was echoing through the whole hotel. It was amazing. Wait, I gotta hit enter, I guess. That is so loud. You could throw a rager with these. And they're not even designed for this. What I'm doing is not correct. They're designed to mix and master music. They're designed to tell you the truth behind the music. And they do that. Get out of that. Because if I put on a poorly recorded song, which I'm obviously shuffling only the best songs right now, but you put on a poorly recorded song, it's like, you know what? This could be improved. They could have fixed this, this, and this. And that's all that you need. fucking science. We're gonna see if we can get the battery's definitely dying on this. That is. I've been at concerts and I've not felt the presence of sound like I hear in these. All right, get up. Stop, Z. Stop, Z, before you start crying about things. Are they ugly? I don't care. We need to look at the ass. So I'm going to rotate this ass. And the thing about it is, I rotated the front to put the tweeter down, but I'm going to flip it back up this way because for some fucking reason, the panel, even though they show it in almost all previews as tweeter down, the panel respects tweeter up. Otherwise, it's backwards. There's some stuff going on back here. So, volume knob. It is a clicky volume. You get to set them at the exact... I have them both set at noon. Between min and max, they're at noon. So I guess if you really wanted to like keep your volume here from blowing it up, you would set that to 100 and then slowly raise it until you hit your maximum listening preference and then leave it there. I'm going noon. You have your low frequency knob, which is currently on 0. You have -2 to +2. You've got your mid frequency plus -1. You got your high frequency plus a -1. You have a ground lift option. You could lift the ground in case something is fucking buzzing. You could do that. You then have a standby button, which is off or on. I'll talk about the particular failures of these pre-production units, because sometimes if I let them go to standby, that one in particular won't turn on the 5-inch. It just won't turn on. Then I got to power cycle it and then it turns on, because it controls every individual driver with its own DSP and amplifier, and that one's like, nah, I don't feel like it every time it goes into standby. So I basically have standby turned off. This panel does get rather warm. Then you've got a rather interesting switch here. It's called channel, and it has left or right assignable. And we'll get to that, because below that is input, analog or digital. Here is your analog. It's a standard XLR. Here's your analog again. It's a TRS, balanced or unbalanced. Actually, I don't know if that's balanced or unbalanced. Either way, I think it'll probably work fine. And then below that, we have the digital panel, which will accept an AES EBU, which is basically what you use in professional studios. You get these are specific AES, actually these are World's Best. I ordered World's Best. These are Gotham Swiss cables, AES. You have here, and then you have the one you're probably gonna end up using if you buy these speakers, which is an input and through for SPDIF, so coaxial digital. So you can take your standard coaxial digital. If you need a converter, if you need an outputter, you plug it into the input, and it's just a loop through out. And what you'll do is you'll plug it into one speaker and go through out to this one into the input, and then you're done. And then you assign the left or right. So it's getting both channels via the SPDIF. Then you pick, well, this is left and this is right. And that one's left or that one's right. And that's it. Now I'm using AES EBU because I wanted to go with the cool one. So I actually have a splitter box here, an Emotiva splitter box. Got an AES cable coming from the Matrix X SPDIF 3 up there. So that's feeding AES out. It's going USB from the computer to that to here. This split off into two identical length cables. I actually had two different length cables, and one wasn't an AES cable, and it got real fucking weird. So don't mess around with digital XLRs if you want to avoid a headache. Then you have the USB down here for DSP config, which is how we'd probably load the things. I thought it was a USB plug for a key, but I guess I'm going to have to plug a laptop in. I'm going to have to plug a laptop in. And then we have the bane of my fucking existence. The foot switch that enables MixCube mode and power and AC select in a normal plug. By the way, hospital plugs from Monoprice. Love these things. Look how sexy they are. Okay, put this back where it belongs. You've seen the back. Oh my fucking God. These things are like 30-something pounds each, by the way. As you would imagine, since they're housing hundreds and hundreds of watts of amplifiers and two very, very powerful 8-inch. So, MixCube mode. I don't need to have done the correction to complain about that. When you buy a set of these, you get a voucher to go online and ask them for this. I'm glad they don't include it. Don't bother. For some reason, And I try to do a little bit of research into this, and I have a friend who knows people. I have a friend who's a musician, and he's been in the studios. I asked him about MixCube mode. Is this a thing? And apparently, some musicians, some people who mix music for a living, have just shit speakers on their desks. And they like their shit speakers for testing certain aspects of a mix. And what this foot switch does, foot switch just goes around, it says on, off. Now, again, this is probably because these are prototypes. These came out before things. But it's a 2 1/4-inch connectors using the same foot switch. And they go 1 and 2. And when you step on it, what's supposed to happen, it does happen occasionally, what's supposed to happen is it puts it into MixCube mode, which literally turns off the 8s and the tweeter, and then unlocks full range on the 5-inch. So you're sitting here, you hit this switch, and you just have the 2 5s, and it's not good. I don't personally get it. Obviously, they went through the trouble of adding the thing and the DSP that sets it and give it the foot switch. So someone wants this MixCube mode. Do not bother if you're buying these speakers for just raw pleasure. That is for some weird sycophant that's like 67 years old. It's like, I want my old Cube speakers, and then you can have them. He can have $3,800, the best speakers I've ever heard, and then flip a switch and ruin them. Also, I don't know if it's a particular fault with my unit here, but occasionally I would flip the switch and it wouldn't go into MixCube mode, or just that one would. And then I hit it again, and then that one would be normal, and that one would be MixCube mode. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking stab somebody. So I had to go get a normal foot switch from a subwoofer I had, literally plug it in and hit it multiple times to get it to be just normal, and then unplug it, plug it, and get it to be normal, and never plug this in again. The end of the MixCube rant. If you want to try MixCube mode, by all means. If you just have a standard foot pedal for here, this one came with, I don't know, one of the subwoofers I have, and you just plug it in, you go boop, and you plug it into there and go boop. I think you may have to leave it in to keep it in MixCube mode. Like this clicks and actually holds on to the thing, but it's like, I have no urge. The urge is very little. This might actually be a multi-part review because I don't want to give this like an hour straight. Do I want to give it an hour straight? I've done the back. I've done my initial sound presentation. I've moved them everywhere. I thought they sounded best all the way against the rug and a little bit further together. And then I tried them all the way back here, like over here. And then I'm like, I want to go further back. I got to move the speakers. And then I sort of settled in this middle region, and I'm perfectly happy with it. Like more than perfectly happy doesn't describe these speakers. You don't get perfectly happy with them. Like, I look here at my beautiful beloved Swans. These are the M300 Mark IIs. And I knew they would never be beaten. Well, now they have. I mean, they're 4 times the price, but even in the bass aspects, that's the one kicker, literally. It kicks you in the fucking face with the low end. And low end is not the point of these speakers. Having everything be even and level. I'm just watching those 8s just bounce. This is Konosuba. This isn't exactly like this. This is not the Wolf Pack. This is not, you know, bass drop. This is just a fucking song. But apparently, in this track from Konosuba is just some hard kick drum bass. Just because I believe these speakers. These speakers are the speakers when you believe in a speaker, then you know it's not lying to you. And I did not know that this song sounded like this, but I do now. Get out of that mode, please. Summer Madness. Just warbling back and forth. And I know DMS's big thing about speakers is they have to disappear. And these will do that. If you get them positioned right and you're sitting at the right height and the right distance and you unpause it. Like this song obviously has specifically left and right stuff going on, but I've listened to like hundreds of tracks. And every time I come across like the perfect one, it just plays straight through. Oh. Oh my God. This. London Symphony Orchestra, London Music Works, Imagine the Fire from the Batman trilogy. This sounds more epic than watching the movie in one of my perfect surround sounds. Because it's just, I feel like Hans Zimmer probably has something equivalent to this in his studio. And if he doesn't, he should get these for his studio. I feel like they're not expensive enough for Hans. You think Hans has like $200 studio monitors somewhere? I fucking doubt it. 3,800's like, I lost that into my couch. Oh my fucking God. That's every time I come down here. I literally came down here tonight to watch Zom 100 and Mushoku Tensei. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to UK in 2 days. I got to talk about these now. I got to talk about them now while it's still, I mean, it's never not going to be fresh. I'm going to miss these. And when I come back, actually, the day I leave, a microphone should be delivered. And I should be able to, I won't be doing the 37-point process. I'll wait till I come back. But I'm wondering if it's going to be even better than I'm experiencing right now. Or just, it loses its magic. Because my friend did the iPhone one with the boot carts, where he wandered around with the iPhone up and down, and we enabled the room correction. Didn't like it. I didn't like it. I'm not 100% sold on room correcting things every time. Sometimes you want that room. Sometimes you need a little stank on it. And sometimes your room just sounds good. Like my upstairs sounds like horse shit. In fact, I kind of want to bring these up to the void and try to do room correction there. That'll be hilarious. But yeah, no, this is... Until I get back from the UK, this is going to have to be the first part. That's the theme of Fujimaki from Megalobox. It's just the most strong. It's just, you could see the I don't know if you could see the speakers, but I can see the speakers. It's just breathing, this music. All right, I'm gonna end this because I'm gonna come back and do more. Let's see how long this fucking video has been. 32 minutes. Yeah, okay, this is gonna be a two-parter. I'll be back.